Mom texted, "We've talked it over. You're cut off for good." My sister liked it. I replied, "Perfect, I'll be out of your accounts too." By midnight, the chat filled with confusion, then rage, then desperation as the transfers started failing one by one. I want to tell this story because I think people need to hear it, especially those who spend years holding their family up, only to be treated like they never mattered the second they stop giving. My name's Laura Kaplan. I'm 33 from Tempe, Arizona. I work in systems finance, mostly back-end process automation for small businesses, which sounds boring unless you've ever watched a business go from chaos to total control overnight. I make decent money, nothing wild but enough to stay comfortable. I didn't grow up with much. My parents were paycheck to paycheck people who never figured out how to stop living that way. And Megan, my younger sister, was always the one they hovered around like she was the sun. I used to think it was because she needed more help. Now I'm not so sure. For the last 6 years I've been quietly paying off things in the background. My parents' mortgage, their credit card debt, Megan's rent. I set up every payment system they use. I ran their taxes, managed their accounts, automated their bills so they wouldn't miss another one and get slapped with overdraft fees they couldn't cover. I gave Megan her first decent credit score. They didn't ask how any of it worked. They were just grateful it did. At least at first. Over time that gratitude turned into expectation. And then into entitlement. Megan stopped thanking me for the rent help. My mom started calling me the bank. My dad, who couldn't log into his own retirement account without my help, started joking that I liked controlling everything. It was exhausting, but I still kept going. Because I figured that's what family does, even when it's not fair. Even when it feels like you're carrying people who won't walk. Then one morning, completely out of nowhere, I woke up to a single message from my mom. "We've talked it over. You're cut off for good." That was it. 10 words. And Megan had already liked it. No warning. No lead up. Just a text that hit like a truck. I reread it maybe 5 times. I actually sat up in bed and checked the date, thinking maybe it was some April Fool's thing, except it was October. No joke. No accident. Just those words. And the strangest part? I didn't even feel angry at first. Just hollow. So I wrote back, "Perfect, I'll be out of your accounts too." That was at 8:12 a.m. By 8:20 I was logging in and removing myself. I didn't touch a penny. I just disconnected everything I had built. The systems I set up. The portals I maintained. The financial breathing machines they relied on. Gone. That night I turned off my phone and went for a walk around the lake near my apartment. I remember watching the ducks and thinking how bizarre it was that no one in my family had even tried to explain the message. Then at 11:47 p.m., the first text came in. From Megan. "Hey, why can't I access the insurance site? It's saying unauthorized." Then Dad, "The bank app won't open. What's going on?" Then Mom, "Laura, I think something's wrong with the taxes. The dashboard is empty." I watched it snowball from there. They tried logging in again. Tried resetting passwords. Then the panic started. Megan messaged, "Did you cancel the rent transfer? I could get evicted, Laura." Mom followed up with, "The Airbnb payments aren't coming in. Where are they going now?" I waited. I wanted them to sit in it. Just for a little while. Then I texted the group. "I did what you asked. You're cut off for good." That's when the meltdown really began. Megan sent 8 texts in a row accusing me of abandoning the family. Mom said I was being vindictive. Dad tried to call, then sent one of those long, confusing messages where he kept switching between guilt and gaslighting. They weren't mad that I left. They were mad that I had the power to leave, and they didn't know how to function without me. I thought about answering. Just once. Just to say, "How you get it?" But I didn't. I powered off my phone and went to bed. And for the first time in years I actually slept. I didn't expect them to fall apart so fast. Honestly, I thought they'd stay quiet just to save face. I figured they'd be petty, dig in, and try to make me look like the dramatic one. But they weren't built for that kind of pride. Not when things started breaking. I woke up to a wall of notifications. 38 missed calls. Most from my mom. A few from Megan. One from a number I didn't recognize, which I assumed was my dad using the landline at his job. Or maybe some burner phone he dug out of a drawer. Not a single voicemail. Just call after call. Like they thought if they dialed enough times I'd cave and pick up. Then the texts started and they came fast. Megan first. "This isn't funny. You can't just lock us out. That's actually abusive, Laura." Abusive. Then Dad. "The HOA is due. I can't get into anything. You're risking the house here. You need to fix this now." Mom finally chimed in with, "Is this seriously about that message? We were just trying to set boundaries. This is too much." Boundaries. The word hit weird. Like a joke that didn't land. They said, "You're cut off," and gave it a little thumbs up emoji. Now I was the one who had gone too far because I said okay and unplugged everything they relied on. By noon, the panic was turning into a full family campaign. Suddenly I was getting messages from people I hadn't heard from in years. Hey sweetheart, your mom said there's been a misunderstanding. Families fight. Don't throw everything away over a text. Aunt Carla. I'm sure they didn't mean it. Your dad told me you've been under a lot of stress. He said you've always been the level-headed one. Come on, fix this. Uncle Rick. The stories had already started spinning. Now I was the unstable one. The emotional one. The one acting out. Not the one who gave up weekends to fix their tax mess. Not the one who built a full financial system around their chaos and kept it all running without asking for anything in return. Then Megan took it up a notch. If you don't put the rent back, I'm screwed, Laura. My lease says I only get one late notice before they start the eviction process. But you don't care, do you? You just want us to fail. Followed by, I hope you feel powerful now. I ignored it. At 3:15 p.m. she sent another. Don't forget I know what you did with all those accounts. You think you're so smart, but if I go looking, I bet I'll find something worth reporting. There was the threat. They had nothing. I knew that. Everything was documented. Every transfer, every login, every tax return. Megan barely knew the difference between a routing number and a Netflix password. But still, the message wasn't about facts. It was about panic. Then the shift. At 5:42 p.m., I got a long message from Mom. It was scattered. Passive-aggressive. Almost apologetic. She wrote, "We didn't mean to actually cut you off. We were just frustrated. You act like we can't do anything on our own. Megan said you treat us like we're incompetent." That's when I realized it. They never hated what I did. They hated that it worked. They hated that they needed me. That I became the person they relied on while Megan, the one they always defended, never followed through on anything. So they decided to tear it all down. The only problem was once they burned the bridge, they forgot I was the one holding it up. I didn't answer until midnight. I waited just long enough to make it clear it wasn't a rushed reply. Then I wrote, "Let Megan handle it." He liked the message after all. That was it. No insults. No explanation. They didn't respond. For 2 whole days the chat was silent. Not a single word. Then on the 3rd morning Megan called me crying. Not angry. Not yelling. Just crying. But it wasn't about me. It was about what she just lost. When Megan called the 3rd morning after I cut them off, I didn't answer. I watched it ring while sipping my coffee. She called again. Then again. On the 4th try she left a voicemail. That alone told me something was wrong. Megan never left voicemails. She barely texted full sentences. I waited about 10 minutes before playing it. He was crying. Really crying. Her voice was shaky and rushed, like she was trying to get it all out before she broke down again. I got a 3-day notice, Laura. I didn't know it would happen that fast. Please. I can't lose this place. I don't know what to do. I don't have anywhere else to go. I just sat there listening to it twice. Not because I didn't understand it the first time. I just needed to hear how real it sounded. This wasn't a performance. This wasn't her playing it up. This was panic. I checked the date. October 5th. Her rent was due on the 1st. Without the auto transfer I'd set up years ago, she'd have to actually go online, log in, and pay manually, which I'm willing to bet she didn't even know how to do. The grace period had passed. Now it was real. Eviction real. And for once there wasn't a net. No emergency deposit from me. No quiet Venmo rescue at 1 a.m. No miracle fix behind the scenes. Just silence. Just consequences. Then came the messages. Well, we didn't realize things were that tight for her. Can you just cover this one rent payment and we'll figure something else out? Then Dad. Come on, Laura. You know we're not good at this stuff. Just do it for her, you always used to. By 2 p.m. Megan sent me another message. No crying this time. Just a short line. I'll pay you back. I promise. And that one almost got me. For a split second something in me softened, not out of guilt but out of habit. I'd heard that exact sentence before. I remembered the last time she said it 3 years ago after I bailed her out of $3,200 in car repairs and credit card bills. That was the only time she'd promised to pay me back. She never mentioned it again. Not once. I kept watching the chat blow up. Messages from Aunt Carla, from my mom's cousin Donna, even an old neighbor who somehow got looped in. They love you, Laura. You're just going through something. Don't let money ruin everything. You know your sister's a mess. Don't punish her for it. She's always looked up to you. This isn't you. I didn't reply. I didn't block them either. I wanted them to see that I was reading it and choosing silence. Then Megan sent one more. I hope you're proud. You cut off your own family. You win, okay? That was what it came down to. Not love, not loyalty, not understanding. Just winning and losing. Just punishment and pride. They still thought I was doing this to prove something, that I was trying to get even, but they never stopped to ask why I snapped. Why that message? Those 10 words from Mom were the final straw after 6 years of holding everything together. The truth is, I didn't want revenge. I wanted peace. I wanted space. I wanted to stop waking up with a list of things I had to fix for people who didn't even say thank you. And now I had it. Kind of. Until that night when the Venmo request came through. From Megan. $1,850. The note just said, please. I stared at it for a long time. Then I left it pending. Not denied. Not accepted. Just floating there the same way she used to float through life. Half trying, half hoping someone else would catch her. The next morning I checked the Airbnb portal out of curiosity. The dashboard was blank. No bookings. No upcoming payments. And the email link to the account had been changed. They were trying to reset everything. And it was already starting to fall apart. 2 full days of silence. Megan's Venmo request sat there untouched. The chat had gone quiet. And for the first time in weeks my phone wasn't buzzing. I started to think maybe, just maybe, they'd finally gotten it. That this was real. Then Saturday morning hit. I was brushing my teeth when I got a fraud alert on my phone. A $4,600 charge attempt from the Airbnb account. But not from their card. From one of mine. An old business card I'd used once over a year ago, just to cover a plumbing repair when the shower in the Scottsdale Airbnb exploded mid-booking. I deleted it from the platform right after. Or so I thought. They tried to run it again. Declined. Then came another attempt, this time for $1,100. Then $900. Both flagged as suspicious. And then I got an email from Airbnb's fraud team asking me to confirm whether the account had been compromised. Multiple failed payment attempts, 3 cards in 2 hours, one of which didn't even match the account holder's name. One of them was Megan's. At that point I knew what they were doing. They weren't just panicking anymore. They were scrambling. They were trying to wire together whatever financial scraps they had left. My old cards, Megan's debit card, my dad's half-frozen checking account. Like trying to start a dead car by sticking a fork in the ignition. Then came the call. Not from Megan this time. From Mom. I don't know why I answered. Maybe I was curious. Maybe I wanted to hear what excuse she'd come up with. He didn't yell. She didn't even sound angry. He sounded tired. She said they were in trouble. Megan's rent hadn't been paid. The Airbnb calendar glitched and wiped their listings. Because, of course, she had no idea how to maintain it. The bookings were canceling. Payments were bouncing. They didn't know what to do. Then she said it. We know you're mad. We know we made mistakes. But this isn't right, Laura. You can't punish us like this. It's ruining everything. That was the moment I knew they'd never get it. They still thought I was doing this to them, not because of them. I told her one thing. Stop trying to use my cards. That's fraud. She went quiet. Then said Megan probably made a mistake. That she didn't mean to. That she was just trying to help. I hung up. 5 minutes later Megan texted me. Well, you told them. Hey, I see what this is. You want war? Fine. Just go. War. That word stuck with me all day. Because she really thought that was what this was. That it was about revenge. Not boundaries. Not years of exhaustion. Not the fact that they drained me dry and then threw me away like I was never part of the team. That afternoon I turned off my phone and went hiking. South Mountain, just me and the sky. I hadn't done that in years. I used to go every other weekend before I got roped into being a full-time financial triage nurse for 3 people who couldn't read a utility bill. I stayed out until sunset. Let my phone die. No music, no messages. Just walked and walked until everything in my head got quiet. When I came home and charged my phone, I wasn't even surprised at what I saw. Mom had gone public. She posted a long Facebook status. A tear-filled essay about her broken heart. About her daughter who cut her off for no reason. About how hard it is to be a mother sometimes, especially when your own child turns cold. Dozens of likes. A few heart emojis. Old church ladies commenting things like, "Kids today don't know loyalty," and "You're such a strong mama." She was laying the groundwork. Building the narrative. Shaping the fallout into something digestible for their friends and extended family. Not the real version. Not the one where I paid off their debt, rebuilt their lives, ran their finances for 6 years straight without complaint, and only left after they sent me a 10-word text saying they were done with me. Well, in her version I was cruel. Told, ungrateful. Then came the private messages. One from my cousin Ashley. "Hey, I don't want to get in the middle, but your mom posted some stuff. Are you okay? Did something happen?" One from a family friend I hadn't spoken to in years. "I always thought you were the responsible one. Hope you guys work it out. Don't let pride get in the way." And then, the one that really got under my skin. A comment under Mom's post from Megan herself. She didn't just cut us off. She left us to drown. That was when I realized something important. They weren't going to apologize. They weren't going to reflect. They were going to make me the villain in their story. And I still hadn't even touched a single dollar of theirs. All I did was walk away. It had been a little over a week. The silence was loud. No more texts. No missed calls. No guilt-tripping Facebook posts. I should have felt peace, but it wasn't peace. It was that feeling you get before a thunderstorm breaks. Heavy. Charged. Then late one night, Megan sent a message. No drama this time. No sarcasm. Just, can we talk? Just the two of us. I'm serious. I ignored it until the next day. I don't know why I replied at all, but I did. I told her she could call me at 6 p.m. sharp, nothing earlier, nothing later. She agreed. At 6 o'clock on the dot, she called. She didn't waste time pretending. Her voice was calm, but I could hear the exhaustion behind it. She said they were in a mess, and I already knew that much. But what I didn't know, and what she finally admitted, was just how bad it had gotten. The Airbnb, frozen. Payments blocked. Guests refunded automatically by the platform because the calendar was wiped and bookings weren't fulfilled. My dad had filed some kind of appeal with their mortgage lender and messed it up so badly they triggered a temporary hold on their autopay. Megan's landlord had started the legal process. Not just threats this time, actual paperwork. And my mom? She tried to refile their taxes and put the wrong EIN, and now the IRS flagged it. They were in over their heads and they knew it. Then Megan said this. We can't keep living like this. I'm not saying we were right, okay? But if you help us fix it, if you just get us back on track, we'll stop. No more dragging you on Facebook. No more making you the bad guy. We're done fighting. We just want peace. Peace. That word again. I stayed quiet. She took that as permission to keep going. She said they didn't want to be enemies. That the family was falling apart because of pride. That we could fix everything with a little cooperation. Then the real kicker. If we give you access again, not control, just access, and you agree to help us through this, we'll respect your space. We'll stick to the plan. We just need your help. I should have said no. I knew that. But there was a part of me, not soft, just tired, that wanted the noise to end. Not peace with them, but peace from all of it. So I agreed. Carefully. With conditions. Everything in writing. I'd fix the Airbnb system. Help them refile the taxes. Cover Megan's rent. Once directly to her landlord. Not a gift, not a loan. A final bridge. In return, they'd stay out of my name, my accounts, and my life. No more social media stunts. No more family smear campaigns. I even made Megan agree to remove every post and story about me. He said, done. I'll screenshot this. Accountability, right? Took me 4 days. I cleaned their mess like I always did. Got the Airbnb back online, fixed the payment system, scheduled the guest refunds that hadn't processed yet. I called the property tax office on their behalf, refiled the IRS documents, and reached out to someone I knew in property management to take over the listing so I could get my name off for good. I also sent $1,850 to Megan's landlord with a direct note. This is the last payment. Any further rent is her responsibility. Do not contact me again. It was the most organized they'd been in years, because I did it for them. And for 2 whole days there was peace. Nothing but silence. No calls. No drama. It was quiet. Then came the punchline. I woke up to a new Venmo request from Megan. $3,000. No explanation. No message. Just the number. Then my phone lit up again. Instagram. She'd posted a story. A picture of her in a spa robe holding a mimosa. The caption said, "Self-care weekend, courtesy of Family Peace." And below it, a tagged post from one of her friends. A hotel room. Champagne. Laughter. The caption, she finally got what she wanted. Queen energy. But the worst part was the last slide. It was just text over a black background. He bought her way back in. Easier than we thought. I didn't move. I just stared at the screen. Not surprised. Not angry. Just done. It wasn't just that they took the money. It was that they used it to celebrate tricking me. Publicly. Like I was some mark they'd outplayed. Some dumb rich sibling who couldn't help herself. That was the moment everything stopped for me. I sent one word to Megan. Then I archived our messages. Deleted the group chat. Blocked their numbers, their social media, their emails. Every friend, every cousin, every nosy neighbor who had cheered them on or stayed quiet. They got what they wanted. And it was the last time they ever would. After I sent Megan that one final word, enjoy, I didn't expect gratitude or even shame. But I thought for a second that maybe she'd go quiet. Maybe she'd realize what she'd done. Instead, the silence I got felt calculated. Like they had what they wanted and didn't need to talk anymore. No more fake apologies. No more panic. No more pretending to want peace. Just radio silence. And somehow that stung worse than any insult. They weren't even pretending now. I stopped checking their pages for a few days. Then late one night when I couldn't sleep, I opened Megan's Instagram again. The spa story was gone. But something else was there, a new post. It was a photo of her standing on a balcony in a hotel robe, holding a glass of wine. Caption read, "Back to my peace. Some people don't belong in your story anymore." Got over 100 likes. All the usual names were there. Friends, cousins, even my mom. I didn't click on her profile, but I didn't need to. I already knew she'd co-signed the news story. Megan, the survivor of my cruelty. Me, the villain who refused to forgive. I didn't react. I just closed the app, set down my phone, and stared at the ceiling. This was who they were now. Or maybe this was who they'd always been. 2 days later, I got a letter in the mail. No return address, but the handwriting was familiar. It was my dad. He didn't say sorry. Not once. Instead, he talked about how hard this year's been on everyone. How families say things they don't mean and how I overreacted. He said, "We still love you. That hasn't changed. You're just going through something right now and we hope you come back when you're ready. We'll be here. You're still our daughter." That should count for something. I read it twice. Folded it. Put it in the drawer where I keep things I don't want to look at but also can't quite throw away yet. They wanted to pretend I was having a bad year. Like I'd hit some mental wall and just needed time. Like I'd eventually come crawling back, head down, grateful to be let in again. They never understood. I didn't cut them off because I was angry. I did it because they showed me exactly who they were when I stopped being useful. That message, "You're cut off for good," wasn't a mistake. It was a choice. A moment when they finally said out loud what they'd always felt underneath. And when I made the same choice, suddenly I was the problem. I didn't block them. Not right away. I let everything sit. Then a few weeks later, a family friend messaged me. Someone I hadn't talked to since high school. He said, "Hey Laura. I don't want to overstep, but I saw some things your mom posted. Just wanted to say I hope you're okay. It sucks seeing family fall apart." I didn't even reply. What was the point? By the time anyone reached out, the story had already been told. The version that made them look broken but lovable and me look cold and unreachable. Megan, the struggling little sister. Mom, the devoted matriarch. Dad, the confused peacemaker. Me, the ghost. A few days later, I opened my budgeting software one last time. I ran a full scan and found 3 small auto payments still active from my end. One on Megan's streaming service, another tied to my mom's cloud storage, and a random old Dropbox account my dad probably hadn't used in years. I disconnected every single one. I deleted every saved password. Erased every shared login. Changed every setting. Shut it all down. Then I sat back and realized how quiet everything had become. Not just my phone. My whole life. No more crisis texts. No more panic calls at midnight. No more guilt trip dinners. No more fake reconciliation attempts. Just space. They got what they wanted. They played the game and won the round. And I let them have it. Because I never needed to prove anything to them. Not anymore. Let them post. Let them rewrite. Let them make me the villain in every story they tell. They'll still lose. Because the real punishment isn't losing me. It's realizing they never even knew what I was worth until I was already gone.